Welcome back. We all know restaurants have had a really hard time during the pandemic. Absolutely. Comedy clubs are in the same boat. The whole arts industry is. And one person who knows all about those struggles is a really good friend of our show. She's family, and she's right there looking beautiful. Look at her. Please welcome back to our show, Shannan Paul. Hi, Shannan.
Good morning, Jason. How's it doing?
First, we got to laugh for a second because Shannan is, maybe you've seen, not the opening of our show, but the commercial, the promo as we call it, the promo for our show for the new season with the new theme song. Shannan was nice enough, as was our good friend Aaron Schwab, to take part in the shooting of it. They had to sit and act like they were eating and having fun for like 2 hours. Right, Shannan?
Right. We're just looking at the food going, should we eat it actually this time or just continue to method act
I know.
with the food in front of us?
And I don't know if we have VO, but Shannan, we got to tell them the part that cracked you up. So I'm sure they're having, you know what I'm going to say. They're having, so the creative service department says, okay, now Jason, Aaron and Shannan are sitting over to your right, and I need you to walk past them, look at them and wave, and then keep moving. And Shannan goes, that looks rude as hell. She goes, you're just walking by.
We're like, bye then. Don't have time to even stop. Okay, cool. Where you got to be?
I'm not even picking up the bill. I'm like, it's a drop. I'm like, hey, bye. I'm not even stopping and saying hi to you.
Stop and converse.
Yeah.
You just stopped, looked at us and went, peace out, and then kept it moving. We're like, I thought we were friends.
I know. Oh, God, we had fun that day. Okay, so I said it in the intro. I don't want to get too depressing, but you know this better than anyone. The arts industry, the comedy industry, really suffering. How are you trying to make the most of it?
You know, a lot of us who were able to pivot into this new virtual world are kind of sustaining ourselves that way because it is different. It's different performing. Like it's different even, you know, when you are accustomed to having a live audience, just like you are with your show, it takes a lot to retrain your brain to be able to perform in this different setting. And so that's some of it. Some of the clubs are doing hybrid shows where there's a much smaller in-person audience, but then they also have a way for people to virtually view your performances at home. And that's helping some clubs out. And a lot of clubs are just having a really hard time and just, you know, closing because it really depends on what region you're in and what your audience is willing to tolerate. And so, you know, I had sent you this article. One of my favorite clubs and the club that I called my second home because it was the first place I actually performed where they paid me. Was a wonderful club called Cap City Comedy Club in Austin, Texas when I lived there. And they just announced this week that they're going to be closing for good. And it's just difficult because a lot of these buildings were based upon a certain capacity. And so they have all this space. So not using it and not utilizing it, they just can't afford it.
Well, and also stand-up comedy is uniquely kind of detrimental. You know, the setup is uniquely not really what we're supposed to be doing right now. It is an individual on a stage within a few feet of the audience. So it has been a challenge, but you have found a way. You've been doing virtual events. You have another event coming up. Tell the folks about that.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm doing another hybrid event on Friday night, and then I have another show on Saturday. And so what we're also doing is that Friday, it's at Sisyphus Brewing, so it's a smaller audience, and then people also can usually zoom in. And we're doing an outdoor show at the Afton House Inn on Sunday evening. So it's earlier than we would normally do it because we know it's Sunday night, but we're trying to get some of these things done so that we can do it outdoors as much as possible. And that's always different too. And you know, God bless the folks from Rock What You Got and the Pay Gap Comedy Tour, because they're actually putting on a festival. It's going to be comedy and music. So I'm one of the comedians that's going to be there. Mary Jo Peel is going to be there. Our good friend Kat Perkins is one of the performers, the singers that's going to be there that evening. And we're doing that at one of the mid-sized band shells at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. So, you know, it really has required a lot of hustle and being able to pivot because we still want to perform and we know people still could use a laugh right now. There's so much drama going on right now that if we can give you a hybrid, I mean, we get it. Like there's some days that I'm like, how is it my job to tell jokes? because I don't feel like telling jokes. You know, you read a news article and you go, well, what can I do to make the lives of other people better? And I truly believe that humor is one of those things when it's used appropriately. And so trying to figure it all out and find other ways to bring a smile to people and do a different variety of content, and we'll get through this. We'll just get through this.
We will, and I'm glad you said what you said. We got to go, but you're absolutely right. You and I have talked off camera. I wondered even about this show, you know, does it seem tone deaf to come on and make comments? And I thought, no, it actually refocused us. And and I, just like you, we actually kind of find it to be kind of a calling to not to get woo-woo and Oprah-ish, but we take pride in the fact that this hour of the day, we try to make you forget about how crappy this year is. So
and my whole thing is that I don't necessarily want them to forget, but I do have ways that I think we can help heal.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think humor can be very healing. And so maybe it's a way that you go, well, it wasn't funny when it happened, but here's how it's funny now. And I can use it to fuel me as I go forward.
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
Love you, darling.
Love you. For more information on Shannan's shows this weekend, you can find her on social media. Just search for Miss Shannan. Shane's back when we come back right after this.